Here we go again.
Welcome back to Donuts in Space and part 13 of the USS Voyager rebuild. We made a little bit of progress on this wee beastie of mine that I thought I'd share with you. We've got the thrusters added now to the top section, to the saucer section should I say really, and we've also got the seams sanded on the bottom as much as I possibly can at the moment. They most probably will need a little bit more sanding, but I'm not going to know that until such time that I get the first layer of primer down, to be fair. And I think when I do the primer work, I'm only really going to spray around the seams as well, because I don't really want to start building up tons of primer on it. So we've got the photo etch thrusters on board now. And they do actually look really, really good. If I just bring this up to the camera, I mean, it's easier to bring this up to the camera than it is to bring the camera down, so to speak. Whoop. So yeah, that's what they look like. So I'm quite happy with the way that they've come out. In the instructions for the photo etch, it does basically tell you to remove all of the detail. In fact, drill out basically all of the detail of where the thrusters were moulded into the kit, and then add the photo etch parts. Now personally, if anybody's out there doing or is going to be using the green strawberry photo etch, which I do highly recommend by the way, I wouldn't actually just hog out all of the material that's behind these. The reason I say that is that when you get it together, you'll find that the thrusters that were moulded into the ship are actually slightly bigger than the photo etch supplied thrusters. So basically what happens is you get the photo etch bent up into shape, and then you match it up to the ship, and then you find that you've got gaps on either side. So the best way to do it is get the saucer section put together first, and actually then put the small bit of detail that goes in on the side, get that glued in, then sand down all of the details, and then add the photo etch without removing anything. The reason I say that is because when I did that, I then had to go back in and basically use sheet styrene to fill in where the gaps are. So I've basically, in essence, by the time I put the styrene in and used some putty on it as well to make sure that the seams were blended in, it then looked as though all I'd done is just sanded down the material for where the thrusters were sitting. So I would just highly recommend that once it's together, just sand it down. Don't bother removing the plastic from those areas. The other thing that I would suggest as well with these, because you've got an extra bit of detail, photo etch detail on the top, and then two on the side, and then another one underneath, personally I would wait to put those bits on until such time that the thrusters photo etch has actually been manipulated and bent into shape, and then actually been glued to the model. The reason I say that is because in the instructions they were actually calling for you to add the detail before you've bent it and put it into place. And unfortunately, I was doing it as the instructions were telling me to do, and the bits of added detail that were on there kept on falling off as I was manhandling it. So it's just to save the heartache of going through that, and also the possibility of losing one of these parts, and they are quite small. I mean, I dropped a couple on the floor, and luckily enough I managed to find them before the carpet monster could get to them. but I would certainly add that detail once they're actually on the ship, once the thrusters are actually have been manipulated properly and been put on the ship. That is going to be the best time to add those to it. So at the moment, nothing else really needs to be done to this section apart from putting the main bridge on, and then that is basically going to be one of the last things that go on. But apart from that, for all intents and purposes, this is actually pretty much well buttoned up now. There's just, I think, a couple of little things left to do. I think before I glue this onto the engineering hull, I think I might just spray down those areas and then see if they do need any other filler work putting into them at all. Mainly because I'd rather do that kind of putty work on this section without it being on the ship, or without the whole ship being together. It's just going to make life a little bit easier. The other thing that we've been working on as well is the little Voyager shuttle. Sorry, the oh, that's all fallen off now. Sorry, I'll have to show you that on another time then, because I'm not gonna. But anyway, this now lights up, and this is actually finished. This will go on the base. You'll see that lit up when it's not actually on the base. So on the actual base itself, we've got a hole there and a hole there, and then we've got 4 holes there. The first 2 holes are going to be blocked off now, and I'm just going to be using those 4 holes, I believe. He says. I might change my mind again, I don't know. So this is going to kind of sit just there, and then this is going to sit kind of just there like so, and that's where they're going to be on the base. I'm still looking at the possibility of putting a decal on the top, but at the moment my computer for some reason doesn't really want to know. Every time I try and resize a picture that I found online, is basically the Horsehead Nebula, but I can't remember what spectrogram it's actually put through, but it shows up green, so it could be hydrogen or something like that. I don't know, I can't remember really, to be fair. But yeah, I can't, my computer just won't actually resize it to what I need, and I can't actually get it to print at the DPI that I need to get it to print to actually make a really good decal that goes on the top there. So I'm not sure whether there's anybody hobby-wise in the UK that might be able to help for that. That might be able to help me get that sorted out, because I would like to have that Horsehead Nebula on here. I'll put up a picture of it so you can see the one, see the one that I mean. But it's kind of got, even though it's the Horsehead Nebula, because it's actually filtered green, it would kind of suit the Voyager really well, to be fair, because you've got the Borg and all the problems and the fights that Janeway's had with the Borg, etc., and kick their backsides. So I think that's kind of fitting, really, to be honest. The other thing that we've managed to get done here is we got a little bit more work done to the actually, let me just turn this up this way before we do that. So on here we've got the rear photo etch bulkhead in place now. There is a gap up there that's going to need to be filled in, and then once we've finished actually bringing these in and down, that should fill up the gaps that are on both sides there. But there most probably will still be some little light leaks coming through there, so I think we're going to need to squish some crystal clear glue into the smaller gaps. I've also got a piece of masking tape attached to the inside of the wall on this to stop any overspray going in. And then once I finish painting, I can just basically remove that with a pair of tweezers. So that's looking good. Oh, well, obviously, as you can see, the fantail is actually now glued into the engineering hull as well. So what I'm going to do is just find the wires that I need. And then we can just quickly show you what this is looking like. Now it's got, I'm not going to bother with sorting these wires out properly until such time that that we're getting ready for it to be all put together. And then I'll just finalise all the wiring once I've got to that stage. So if we just get, yep, there we go, look at that. So that in itself isn't looking too bad, I don't think. And the good thing is, if we turn this way, you can actually see the glow coming through on the, there we go, you got the glow coming through there on the deflector array housing. And then if we get the, although this isn't going to go in completely the right way, but if we just kind of drop that in there like so, that's virtually perfect as it is. But that's how it's actually going to look, and you can actually see the clear definition of all the ribs on that as well. So I'm really happy the way that that's turned out, because that's how it is on the show. So it's actually good to be able to capture that level of lighting on this. Normally the blue really washes the camera out, but it hasn't on there. I mean, the only thing that you might be able to see in the center there is a bit of a washed out hot spot, but in person you can't actually see that either. So really happy with the way that that's worked. And it's the same with the warp nacelles as well, actually, to be fair. The way that we've got those done, that makes them look a little bit better as well. So happy with that, really. And then the other bit that we've done as well is we have the 3 bits of photo weight attached. So we've got that bit there, the one in the middle, and then that one there. I've started painting those. I forgot to put those on, actually, to be fair, and it was only when I was looking at it I was thinking, I forgot those. So I put those on, and luckily enough I've still got quite a bit of that paint that I mixed up for those areas. So that's done, because I need to do the thrusters with those with that paint as well. So yeah, I just need to put another little coat on those, and that'll be fine, I think. But that, I think, for the moment, guys, is going to be about that. Next time, you never know, I might actually have this whole ship put together. That would be amazing. I think that would be quite good, actually, to be fair. Let's just zoom back out. There we go. Yeah, I think if we could get this buttoned up by the end of this update, that would absolutely be fantastic. So I'm just going to carry on, guys, and I will come back to you when I've got some more work carried out to this wee beastie. After 13 weeks, we've finally got this wee beastie together now, which is an absolute fantastic thing. There's just a little bit more work to do down the dorsal spine, just a little bit of putty work around there to get that looking good, and then down these parts here where the saucer section actually meets the engineering section. That won't take too long to do. Then there's just a little bit of cleanup left to do after that. So yeah, quite happy with that, actually, really. I would say there's most probably, before I can actually start painting this, yeah, we've got a few details that need to go up there as well. But I would imagine I've more than likely got, I would say, about another possibly 2-3 days worth of work left in this wee beastie before we can get it ready for the painting stage. As I say, we've got those details up there that need to be put on, the seams down that side to be filled. We've then got to mask off all of the windows on the ship and all of the engines, etc. So that's going to take a little bit of time to do. With the windows, to be fair, I should have actually masked those off whilst they were still in 2 separate bits, but I just didn't. but I've already got the templates in place ready for those windows, so I don't have to sit there measuring masking tape out. All I did was basically used the photo etch window frames as the template for the windows, for the masks, so I'll be able to cut those out and get those in without an issue, and that'll be good. That'll be job done for them. And then it's just a case of just using the masking tape to mask off the chiller grills and the facade scoops, and also the deflector array at the front. And then after that, there's just a little bit of tiny work as well actually left to finish on the underside of the ship as well. I've just got the there's a couple of little circles that I need to put in there, and a little ball bearing too. So yeah, that needs doing. So I would say about another 2, possibly 3 days worth of work left in this wee beastie, and then that's done. We've also got the Aero Shuttle and also the Delta Flyer completely finished, and I've kind of temporarily mocked those up on the stand as well, so you can see what they're going to look like once they're on display. And it'll also give you a kind of good idea as to how the 2 smaller shuttles are actually going to fit within this as well. So yeah, quite happy with the progress on this wee beastie at the moment. So what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to pause here. I'm going to take the camera off the stand where it is, because obviously it's up above the bench, and I don't want you getting seasick when I unscrew that. And then we can take a look at this wee beastie. And what I'll do is I'll just turn off all the lights as well, because it's going to be easier to do that, so you can actually see what the kit looks like in the dark. So I shall be back in a second. Okay, so we're back with you again with the unsteady cam. So I'll just turn the other light off, and then we can see the ship. I mean, obviously you're going to see a lot of glittering on the ship, because basically at the end of the day there basically isn't anything in those windows to stop them from twinkling. But it's not looking too bad, to be fair. Whether we can actually get a bit of a close-up on the camera into those rooms, I don't know, but we'll certainly have a little look and see if we can get a view. Yeah, I don't think you can actually, really, which is a shame, to be fair, because when you look at these rooms in person, they do actually look fairly good. But yeah, I mean, I've got the camera pressed right up against the model there, and you can't really see, which is a shame actually. I mean, the light for some reason on those windows is being really blown out, but it's not that bad. And then you can see there with the nacelles, the red and the blue on those is literally absolutely perfect. It's kind of where it should be, really. There's just a little bit of a glow coming off them and hitting the sides of the ship there, but nothing too spectacular. And here are the little, well, this one here is the Aero Shuttle, and then this one here is the Delta Flyer, and as you can see, they're all nicely lit up as well. Whoops, sorry, we moved the camera back a bit too much there. So yeah, as you can see there, they're lit up quite nicely. And then if we just take a little look on that side of those, and then just go round, and then we can take a look at them from that side as well. So not looking too bad. And then if we go up there, you can see the underside of the ship, and you can see again that the light that we've got coming out of there isn't actually blowing the camera out, which for blue LEDs, which always tend to blow the camera out, that's doing pretty well, I think. I'm quite happy with the way that that's turned out. The only thing that I am going to have to do is, you've got the 2 torpedo launchers up there. I'm going to have to block those off so they can't be seen, because at the moment you can see there's just 2 kind of bluish dots above the dish there. But yeah, certainly not looking too bad. And then if we can just come around, I'll move the modeler around a bit as well, actually. It's going to be easier. There we can see the floodlight, which is actually just floodlighting absolutely everything. And then we can see, I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to see into any of those rooms at the moment in the bridge, because it is all taped up at the moment. But the actual bridge itself is looking quite nice. All the rooms, as I say, in person, all the rooms look really, really good. And then if we come around to the back, we've got the shuttle bay there. That's being blown out a little bit. There are some light leaks around the photo etch there that need to be dealt with. But all in all, to be honest, I don't think it's looking too bad. And then we've got the impulse exhausts there, and again, they're not being blown out with the light, so quite happy with that. And then if we just come around the front of the front of it, well, hopefully we might be able to see no, I don't think we're going to be able to get in there, actually. That's just, yeah, there you go, you can see it from there. You can see the impulse intake there. So yeah, quite happy with the way that this wee beastie has got. Let's take a shot further back. But yeah, with the Aero Shuttle and the Delta Flyer there, you can kind of get a good idea of what it's going to look like with the two smaller shuttles being put on display there as well. Hopefully, if somebody in the UK can help me with the decal for the top of that, it would be appreciated. It does need to really be printed in the highest definition as possible. I've got the paper, or if anybody can do it that does have the paper, then I can just, or the decal paper should I say, really, then obviously I don't mind paying for it, and for the ink and the postage, etc. So if anybody can come back to me on that, that would be fantastic. Because all I would need to do basically is just send the file that needs to be used to print, and I can just send the dimensions of the lid that it needs to go on as well. And then, yeah, I mean, that would be perfect. If anybody can help me, it would be a lifesaver. I don't know why my printer won't print it the way that I want it to, but it just won't, which is a shame. But yeah, there you go. So that is going to be the end of update 13. Hopefully, come part 14, we'll have the last few little light leaks tidied up, and the last few seams dealt with as well, and all of the other little bits and pieces that need to be done to actually turn this into a reasonably respectable model kit. So until then, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and please do take care.